You know what the funny thing is about this movie? How many people would actually like the opposite effect to happen on them? You know, to say a magic word and then boom, you're turned into a kid again? I think a lot of people would take that if they had the chance.
It's laser time and we're gonna do a review. Yes, we're gonna review. We'll talk about movies and comics too. Let's all go watch the review. Yeah.
Hello everyone, how's it going? I am Laser Dude. Welcome to another Laser Dude review. Today we're reviewing Shazam! This is DC's newest movie starring Zachary Levi as Shazam. And, everyone else Mark Strong as Dr. Savannah. And everyone else you probably wouldn't know. Because they're kids. So the story of Shazam is about a young boy named Billy Batson who's an orphan looking for his parents. He's always running away from foster home and he gets settled in with his family, and after a bunch of different things happen, he ends up meeting face to face with this wizard who's trying to get rid of his power because this ancient evil power has been taken by this guy called Dr. Savannah, played by Mark Strong, and so he needs to find a champion. So he chooses Billy as his champion, as the great and powerful Shazam! Although Billy, being a kid, it turns his body into a full grown-up body, and that changes the whole thing, because now he's a kid with superhuman powers, and he doesn't really know what to do with them. So let me just say, going into this movie, the one thing that I was most worried about, most concerned about, was the actor Zachary Levi. Not because I thought he was bad or anything, was the fact that the commercials kind of made it seem like he was playing it up a little bit too much for my liking. Like, here's the thing, is like when it came down to it, the one thing I was hoping for is that his performance would match his child actor's performance, because they have to be playing the same character. And I'm sorry to say, but not that it's terrible, but there are some moments that it feels like he's trying to sound too much like a kid. I mean, the actor in this film who plays Billy Batson, the younger version of him, he plays it pretty much straight out what a teenager would say things. But then Zachary Levi's character is like, whoa, ha, oh, cool, dude, all right. Where it's like the other guy's like, dude, you know, that's kind of how he says it. Where Zachary Levi's like, dude. But I want to say that's like the one kind of negative that I have about this film. It's like, and as I say, I don't think the guy's acting horribly, but I don't think it matches that well with the kid's performance. I think in sequels, what they should do, if this movie gets a sequel, I think what they should do is have like the kid be there on set and say the line how he thinks he would say it, and then Zachary Levi has to try to match that, because I think Zachary Levi's a little bit more over the top and a little bit more trying to sound like a kid, where the kid just sounds like a kid and he's talking more normal. But as I say, it's not bad. It's just, I think that the kid actors do actually a better job. Especially the two main kids. We got Billy and Freddie, played by, well, people that I don't know. Look, there they are. But they are, I think, probably the best part of this film, because I really like especially the kid playing Freddie. He plays it so dry and so good. It's such a nice little, it's a unique performance for a character. I've never really seen a kid character like this kid before, but he plays it perfectly. The right amount of a little bit, snarky and a little bit fun, but still has the insecurities of kid. I really like the way he handles it, because he's trying to be mature, he's trying to be, he's trying to be like, oh, I'm an adult, but, he still has stuff that he has to go through. It's like, oh, I'm also a kid, and I have these insecurities, and Billy Batson has his own thing. Because, when they get these powers, they start messing around for fun. Because what else would you do with it when you're a kid? It's only when things start to get serious that they don't really know what to do. And I think Billy Batson's actor actually plays that really well, too, because I think the vulnerability that you feel with him when he needs to feel vulnerable, it works. There's one scene that I won't get into, but I'm just like, man, you really feel for this kid and this character. We got Mark Strong that plays the villain, Dr. Savannah, and I think that it's kind of funny, because I always picture Dr. Savannah as a little more lanky, a little bit more skinny, but, Mark Strong isn't. He's a little bit of a buff guy. But, he's a little weak, like they do some good effects with him and the way he handles his power. It's actually kind of cool. But I think that my problem with Mark Strong is that whenever he plays a villain, he's basically playing the same villain every time. I mean, honestly, he just has the same intimidating stare and the same deep growly voice. And that's why I think like the times where he branches out from being the villainous role is when I really enjoy him the most, like in the Kingsman movies. That's when, I like him the most in those. But it's like here he's just back to being the scowling evil villain. And while they do give him some development early on in the movie, like the way the movie starts is actually really, really good. But I don't think they have enough. He just ends up being evil bad guy, not very charismatic. I would have been interested to see if he like enjoyed the evil things he was doing more, if he had a little bit of a gleefulness about it, But yeah, to each his own. Maybe he's just playing to his strengths. I'm just saying it would have differentiated himself from every one of his villain performances. Now we also got a lot of other supporting cast, and I think they're good. Like we got Billy Batson's parents. Not his parents, his foster parents, I should say. I think they play the supportive characters in the right way, but they're not just caving into every one of his things. They act like real parents. All of his siblings, while they're nice and I don't hate any of them, I think they could have been... I don't know, it's such a small movie. I shouldn't say small movie. They have such a limited amount of time, but I would have liked to get more out of them. That's kind of my thing with it, is like, I don't really know anything about them, but we're supposed to, by that Billy, by the end, feels like they're part of his family. So, yeah, it's like, in a perfect world, maybe this movie would have been longer, we would have been able to develop that more, but I think the relationship that you need to focus on is Billy and Freddie, and for that, I think they do a really good job. I will say this, if you want to see this story in comic book form, all you gotta do is read Jeff Johns' Shazam book, because it's the exact same story. The only difference is they swapped out the Black Adam from here and put in just Dr. Savannah as the forefront villain. But everything else is almost exact same. The way the story is set up, the way the conflict resolves itself at the end. Like, I was like, I'm just waiting for this to happen because I read the book. And I think that gives me a unique perspective, because there was some stuff that I saw coming. I was just like, all right, just get on with it. Go over to it. Where the movie was building up and trying to build to that moment. But I was just like, I know it's coming, so stop stalling already. I will say one thing that they do change from this story is Billy's not as much of a jerk in this. Like, in the beginning of this story, he is much more of a jerk than he is in this movie. Like, there's some stuff he says that hurts some characters' feelings, but he's not trying to be a jerk. He's just trying to distance himself from them because he doesn't want to, be a part of somebody else's family. He wants to be a part of his own. I'm actually kind of surprised how many people are loving this movie. Not to say that there isn't stuff to love about this movie. It's very funny. The action's okay, not amazing. I think that the characters, especially Billy and Freddie, the younger versions, they really sell the story, and I'm really glad that they were able to do that so well. But and there's good world building in this movie as well. I think that there is and I can get, we're coming across from a couple of the darker DC movies. This is like a breath of fresh air, totally fun, totally energetic, and not in the same way like Marvel. It's being its own thing. It's still doing its own way, but it's differentiating itself from Marvel, but it's still fun. I guess the reason I'm surprised that so many people were loving it is because I just think it's okay. I think it's a good movie. And so let's just give it that rating. Now, here is my rating for it. It's a 7 out of 10. It's a good movie. I recommend it for other people who are fans of superheroes, and I'm not sure if this is a movie that it's not like Guardians of the Galaxy that could sweep everybody in. I think you kind of have to be a fan of this genre in order for this movie to suck you in. I think though that it is funny, so I think that it has that going for it, that you could take just take someone to it and say that. I think sometimes it might be too funny. Like, it's like making jokes at scenes that should be more intense. I'm just like, there's a bad guy that's going to be killing people and you're still making jokes. Okay, those were the times where Zachary Levi's performance took me out of it. I'm just like, stop saying dude, there's an evil guy trying to kill you in front of you. you know? But yeah, that's what I have to say about that for the non-spoiler part of the review. Moving on into the spoiler part of the review. If you haven't seen this film, I want you to do so before continuing on. Here's the thing. The thing that I could see that they were going to do was the Shazam family. I mean, as I said, the comic book did the exact same thing. So I was waiting for that to happen. Here's the thing. It's like, I don't know what they're going to do with it after that. It's like, same with the comic. I'm like, okay, you've done that, but now what? Do they even have superhero names for these characters yet? I still don't know. Although I will say it was very cute when the little girl in the grown-up saves the Santa, and she's like, I've been very good this year. That was really cute. Well, what was with that Santa? That whole thing was weird. This movie also, it got me at one moment, and then it kind of like lost me as it over-explained it. Like, there's the moment where it's like all the demons are surrounding him, and then Freddy throws a batarang at Dr. Savannah, and he turns, and then the blood stain is on his head, and he realizes, oh, he's only human with these dings out of him, and all the demons go in him, and it heals up. And I'm like, good, that's all you needed. That's all you needed. I get the message loud and clear. As soon as they're out, then he can take him down because he's just a human. But as soon as if they're in him, then, you know, he's protected and powerful. So I got that right from there, but then they over-explain it, where it's like Mary's like saying, hey, if you take the demons out of him, then you gotta beat him. And I'm like, oh, come on, you can do better. It's like, we already saw it, and he saw it. More importantly, he saw it. You don't need to explain it to him, because now I'm wondering, like, did he actually notice? Did he actually see it? Why are you needing to explain it? You just had it. You had it fine, and then you over-explained it. But also, kind of a thing is like, I don't know if like he ends up beating him by baiting envy out of him, which I like. But I'm like, was that his plan the whole time? It didn't really feel that way. Like, I wanted him, like, once he's accepted his fate as the hero and he's turned all of his family into superheroes too, you know, once he's done that, I was like, now he's going to face him. But he spent most of the time in his battle running away. I'm like, no, this is the time when you need to have your hero facing the enemy, hitting him head on. You know? It's like, there was a Black Adam short that DC did a while ago, and it had this whole thing where I think he was Captain Marvel in there, but he just got his powers, and he's like, he was running away, and Black Adam's like, grabs some random citizen, holds her by the head, is like, hey, get back over here, I'm going to crush his head. There was a couple of times where the villain could have handled things better, and he probably would have won, but I don't know, I mean, just because you have ultimate evil power doesn't mean you're a good tactician. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. I'm interested in seeing where they go with it. I hope that if they do give this movie a sequel, they follow my advice and have the main actor try to copy the younger actor's performance, because the reason I say that is because the younger actor is the character. You know, the older actor is playing the younger actor. So the older actor has to follow suit by trying to match his performance. The younger actor does not have to match Zachary Levi's performance. Zachary Levi has to match his. And so I hope they do that for a sequel. So that's all I got to say. Thanks for watching, everybody. I am Lazy Dude, and be sure to join me on my next review. Bye.
Be sure to check out some of these other videos on my channel. And wait for more coming soon.